So this is my wife's purse doggy, Luke Skybarker. He is with the light side of the force right here. So Luke loves to sit on top of the couch and put a divot into the top of our couch, and we would like for him to use his bed more. So we're going to design this fun new doggy bed for him to hopefully get him to not damage our couch any further. So since we're building this dog bed for our puppy, I decided to enlist the help of my sons on this one.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Owen.
So I decided to make this project out of common board. And so that is where we're coming up with the rustic term, because common board has knots and imperfections in the wood that a lot of our other wood would not, or pieces that we would not choose to use, of course. Since this video is after COVID in 2022, or hopefully after COVID, the prices are super expensive still. As you can see up on the screen right now, we're putting up all the numbers for what we spent on this project. The goal was to keep it under $100, so we're in the $95 range with all of our materials. If this was pre-COVID, we would have been around $60 based on the price flux in the wood here. So it's time to do our cut list. So now's the time to really focus over your numbers and make sure that you're not making any mistakes. The mistake that I always seem to make, and it's the common one, is that I forget to subtract the thickness of my wood when I'm sandwiching a piece of wood between two others. So let's make sure we don't do that. In this case, our dog bed shape is going to be 29 inches wide by 24 inches deep. Obviously, depending on the mattress pad that you get for your dog, change the dimensions. Since we are sandwiching the back piece in between the two sides, instead of the back piece being 29 inches, we need to subtract 3/4 of an inch from both sides, 1.5 inches, and so that turns it into 27.5 inches is what that back piece is going to be. That also translates to our front stretcher pieces that we're installing in the front just to give our box rigidity. So those will also be 27.5, and my front lip plate is what I'm going to call it, will also be 27.5. So now we have our cut list prepared. Let's go ahead and assemble. So I've done a dry fitting of all of our pieces just to make sure that all of my cuts were correct. But I wanted to kind of pause here and just point out that since we've decided to make this a Star Wars bed for my dog Luke Skybarker, I'm going to be putting a lot of this into the CNC machine at this point that I'm really excited to use because I just got it. But I know that 90% of you out there are not going to have a CNC machine or access to one at home.
Oh, you think you're fancy?
So what I did want to point out was, this can just be made into a rustic dog bed at this point. We used more rustic wood. You can go ahead and stain this, sand it, maybe take a trim router to the tops, round over things, and you're good to go. Another one of our tools that's really helpful is also from our 10 tools under $20 segment, so that's linked below, is these dental picks. And in Darth Vader here, anything that's deep, we're not going to have any issue with pouring epoxy, but anything that is very small, a very small amount of epoxy is going to get in there, and it's a lot better if it's a little bit deeper, because once I pour the epoxy in there, I'm going to need to sand it. And when we sand, we're inevitably going to take away some layers of the wood. And so if this is very, very small in the wood, we're going to probably sand away all of the epoxy. So I want to give it its best chance of survival in something really thin and skinny here by taking first one of the very narrow and then one of the thicker ones and kind of just scraping it away. It's been 12 hours since we put the epoxy in, so the minimum cure time for this type of epoxy is 12 hours, so we're good to go ahead and sand this. You could either put this through a jointer to shave off all the epoxy that's on top, or you could use an orbital sander to take it all off. I'm scared of using the jointer when I'm near the end of a project, because if it sniped it, it would pretty much ruin this piece and we'd have to redo it. So I'm going to take the safe way and use the sander. If you're sanding epoxy, wear a minimum of an N95 mask or respirator, just because you don't want to breathe in this plastic. That would definitely be bad for you. So now it's time to put everything together, and we're going to use pocket hole screws on the inside pieces of this since we're sandwiching the outside. I don't want anything visible. So what we're going to just do is mark along each one of them. I like to do a dry fit like this, that way you know you don't screw up with it. One of the main items is this face plate. So not only are we putting pocket holes at the ends to attach it to the sides, but we also need to do underneath to marry these two together before we put it in. So let's hit the Craig jig. All right, so I have my big man Ben here, and we're going to do the glue up and screw up for the main carcass of the cabinet. So Ben, I'm putting some glue on the edge of this piece of wood here. And now can you please spread that around for me?
Okay.
Make sure you coat the entire thing. So anywhere you see it dry, try and get some there. I was kind of ginger with how much I put on there. So here's a little bit more here, here, and here. Let's just move that around right there.
Okay.
So Ben, how many times do you come out and help me in the shop here with wood projects?
I've helped with quite a few.
Oh yeah. Daddy puts them to work. Go ahead. You're pretty good at using the pocket hole jig, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Ben glued that up. So now we're going to go ahead and set this in here. So I always want Ben and Owen out here helping me in the shop. And one thing that we need to do when we have our kids out working with us is we need to set them up for success. So Ben's going to go ahead and screw this together. The big mistake is handing Ben an impact driver, because if you use an impact driver to put in a pocket screw and you overdrive it, it's going to shoot the screw out of the side. And then Dad's going to get upset and all sorts of craziness is going to happen. But it's Dad's fault, not his fault. So let's set him up for success and instead use a regular drill, not an impact driver. And then we're going to tone back the setting to like 3. That way it's impossible for him to overdrive this screw, even if he doesn't let go of the trigger at the exact time he's supposed to. So this way everybody's happy. Maybe Dad has to come back and tighten it up a little bit after the fact, but again, we're making sure that we don't have a accidental mess up here. So go ahead, Ben, start that first top screw.
Okay.
There we go. That ratchet just saved our butts there because...
Yeah. That's a really fast one.
Awesome job.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, you're relieved, sir. Okay, so now we got Owen in the house. And Owen, what we're going to do first is we're going to place this bar back here. And what this bar does is Luke's bed slats are going to sit on top of this. So what I did was I measured 3 3/4 inches from the bottom and put a mark at both sides. So let's go ahead and glue this up. right, so now we're going to put this bottom rail on. So flip this over and make it easy. We're going to glue both sides of this, which hit it with the paintbrush. Yeah. And hit it with the paintbrush again. Very nice. Put the paintbrush in the holder. Okay, so which side am I facing out? That's the nicer looking side. So, Owen, you're going to put a screw in both of these holes, but I need to, since this is like a foot almost for this unit, I'm going to put this on top so that we remain flush, and then I'm going to push up. So I need you to walk around me this way. Cool. Go ahead, get that in, and remember, slow and don't overdo it. All right, so we're going to put the rails in. Since we have this bottom plate, we know exactly where our drawer slides are going to go. So I'm putting this butt up to the front, but I want to use the playing card trick. Woodworkers, we like to use playing cards because we know that they're equally as thick, and typically they're 1/32 or 1/64 in thickness. So I'm going to put 3 playing cards under this one and make it stand back up, and I'm going to put 3 under the front. Also with these, I like these because they're plastic, so they can get glue on them, and you know, they're not going to get affected by moisture or anything. And of course, you can learn some cool, fun drinks off of the bottom of this, if that's your bag. All right. We've got the drawer all assembled. It's in. It slides smooth. It locks right at the end, which I always like how it does that. Now it's time to go ahead and put all the slats on top, which will support the dog bed. I wanted to take a break to talk about my sponsor, SafetySourceSupply.com. They're a discount retailer of name brand, new in box tools at up to 50% off retail. They want their customers to be happy with their purchases, so they only want me to give completely honest reviews, which is the only way I'd be willing to do it anyhow. Honesty builds trust in the customer, and since they're a retailer, not a manufacturer, they don't care if I say something negative about a tool. If I think it's junk, they'll just stop selling it and sell something else instead. So if you're a tool lover like I am, I need you to know about SafetySourceSupply.com. Right now, there's a Milwaukee Red Lithium 5 amp hour battery that retails for $149 that they're selling for $55.99. Batteries are expensive, so when you see an amazing deal like that, you need to jump on it. Make sure you bookmark SafetySourceSupply.com. They change their deals all the time and are constantly getting in new products at amazing prices. I was a customer before they sponsored this channel, so I can attest to the phenomenal prices on this site. So go check out SafetySourceSupply.com. They are the source for the best prices of tools anywhere. All right, so we put our first one in. We're gonna tack it twice. Both sides. Then I made a spacer block. For my application, I did it 1 1/4 inches wide. Spacer blocks make it easy because then you can just slap it in there and you know it's good. So the very last step that we have is to put on the front of the drawer. And so for this I have a 29-inch piece of lumber, and I also found lightsaber looking drawer pulls.
making our dog's Star Wars bed.
Luke hasn't gotten off since we made it.
So thanks everybody, I hope you enjoyed the build. Just remember, we took it the extra step to CNC and put all this epoxy in it to make it a Star Wars bed. Of course, you could do the exact same thing in a lot less time and make this just a rustic dog bed that has a full pull-out drawer for their stuff. We're a new channel, so please like and subscribe. That'll help us bring more content to you. If you stayed to the end, I hope you enjoyed everything, so hit that button. And of course, stay safe in the shop, keep all those fingers safe, and we'll see you next time.